Great Ogoni people, great. Hello everyone. Victor Baragbo is here today. And today I want to talk on the topic I called Emancipate Yourself from Mental Slavery. The Bob Marley music I just played is also giving us the same message. So, I want to use a Bible scripture so that you can understand where I am coming from. If you read the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 10, I think from verse 5 to 7, he said, "There is an evil I have seen under the sun, proceeded from the ruler, that foolish people have been exalted, and while the noble ones have been placed in low places." He said, "I have seen princes, I have seen slaves riding on horses, and princes walking on the ground." Now, it is a very important Bible verse. And if you look at what is happening in the system today, I'm referring to Nigeria as a country, you discover that a lot of people, those who are supposed to be like princes, are walking on the ground. And then those who are supposed, by virtue of the natural resources we have in that country, those who don't even have what those that are supposed to be princes had, they are already riding on horses. And then the owners of these natural resources are walking barefoot, begging. It is a situation that is very abnormal. And it will require us to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery so that we can begin to look at things straight. We can begin to call what is white, white. We can begin to call what is black, black. It is only when we emancipate ourselves from mental slavery that we'll be able to write 100% and receive what belongs to us. I want to take us through memory lane. Let me take just an excerpt from Lord Lugard. There is an analysis Lord Lugard gave about an African, an example in Nigeria. You know, Lord Lugard was in Hong Kong. While in Hong Kong, he was now reassigned to Nigeria to come and complete up the British plan of making that enterprise. So when he arrived in Nigeria, he studied the situation, the people, and he understood very well how to handle the people based on his understanding. And you will agree with me that what he said, whether we like it or we don't like it, some of those things are true. And it is in operation today. From that time to date, it's still in operation. Let's go to, it's an excerpt. So it talks about the character and temperament of a black, an African. Now, let's look at it. He said, the typical African of this race type is happy, treatless, excitable person, lacking in self-control, discipline, and foresight. This man studied the people he met carefully, and he understood exactly what was going on. Let me tell you, look at the situation in Nigeria today. Do you want to tell me that if we had visionary leaders, we will still be suffering this way? Never. An example is United Arab Emirates, where there is the visionary leader. United Arab Emirates got independence in 1972. But look at it today. Look at United Arab Emirates today, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, look at it today. Can you compare just one part of Nigeria to it? No, you can't. But Nigeria had independence as far back as 1960. And today, it is still like a slum. So, Lord Lugard talks about being thriftless, being extravagant, wasteful. Those are the characters he saw. And he said, now he talks about being happy. Yes, are we not happy people? We are always happy. Even in our pains, yes, it is good. But when you are happy and you don't know what to do to save yourself from that problem, then your happiness becomes like foolishness. He said we lack self-control and discipline, foresight. If we had leaders that had foresight, by today there won't be this serious ethnic problem we have in Nigeria. Economic wise, we would have been very stable. Politically, we would have been at the top. But all we have is completely different. It's opposite. And when you study what Lord Lugard said, almost everything is right. Now he moved on. I won't take all. I will just take some, bit by bit, pieces of it. He said, full of personal vanity. Look at that. Full of personal vanity. Is this quite different? Is it different from when one person sits in a position, takes what belongs to the entire state or the local government or the agency is leading, takes everything to himself and allow the people to suffer? Is that not personal vanity? That is personal vanity. You are so conscious about personal vanity. Yourself. All you want to have is for yourself and your family. So you take what belongs to the nation and the rest, they can go to hell. You don't care. You don't give a damn about that. If you are selfless, you see, let me tell you one thing about a leader. A leader is supposed to be selfless. A leader should be like a good father and a good mother. Do you know why? If there is no food in the house, the little that is left, the father or the mother will leave it to the children to eat. And then will go out and look for something so that he can still come back and bless his family. Do we have leaders like that? That is what it takes to be there. But the leaders we have are the ones that will take everything from the citizens and tell the populace, go to hell. For me, I'm okay with my family. That is why Nigeria, it is from the day they started up till now, we've not moved an inch. And that is why people in Nigerians or people in that country need to emancipate themselves from mental slavery. Because this mental slavery is transferred from generation to the next generation. And you see things going bad and you can't talk. In fact, you see black, you call it white. Because you just want to hustle in and get your own personal vanity. And you don't care about what is happening all around you. So when you look at this analysis, you will discover that Lord Lugard was very, very observant. Now let's move on. He said, fond of music and loving weapons and oriental loves jewelries. He said his thoughts are concentrated on the events and feelings of the moment. And he suffers little from the apprehension for the future or grief for the past. All we concentrate on is for the moment. Our feelings, our thoughts, our everything is on. We don't look ahead. We don't plan for the future. All we want is right now. And when you concentrate on right now, you become desperate. And that is why the Nigerian system is where it is today. There is no long-term plan, nothing. Everything is on time. Anyone who comes in wants to take his own share of what they call the national cake. And I keep saying, you see, it is mostly not, it's not like people. I don't look at any character. I'm not trying to blame any person, but what I am saying is this. The system that we are operating is like a bad socket. It's like a bad socket. When the socket is bad, whatever thing you plug in will be destroyed. Because the current that flows through it is either it is very high or it was not well connected. So anything you plug into that socket is going to be destroyed. So the system we have in Nigeria is like a bad socket, because any leader that comes in, as soon as you come into it, your brain, you will begin to think like them. You will begin to operate like them. Because if you don't operate like that system they have created, they will throw you out. So we need to deal with that system. We need to remove that system. We need to change that system. Because that system is the biggest problem we have. And how can you change if you don't change your mental capacity? If you don't improve and change, it's like deleting the old. Just delete what is wrong and install the new thing, fresh ideas that can move us forward. You see, I am talking because people need to understand some basic things. And I want to tell Ogoni people, if you look at what is going on, it looks impossible. But the truth remains that it is possible. We need some people, youths, elders, to delete that mental slavery. Remove it. Remove that mental, just remove it and put on something new. So that collectively we can move Ogoni forward. Now, back to what Lord Lugard said again. He said, he's talking about a typical African. He said his mind is far nearer to the animal world than that of the European or Asiatic. That's the Asians. And exhibits something of the animal placidity. He has been in the Asian country. He was in Hong Kong. So he has studied them and he understood what the people were. And as a European, he knows themselves. And then he's now comparing it to an African. He said our own mind is nearer to the animal world. Now, do you think he's right or wrong? Someone who concentrates on events of the moment. Someone who spends extravagantly. Someone who wants everything right now and will finish it right now and he doesn't care. Do you think you are a human being? You are not a human being. For God's sake. God created you so that you can come into this world and you be a co-creator with him to do things. But you've allowed yourself to be programmed. You see, when you've been programmed, you can't think outside the box. You will always think the way you've been programmed, like a robot. And the British themselves, they programmed us. And because we were programmed, we don't want to think outside the box and begin to look at what is our pain, what is affecting us, what is the problem, so that we can solve our situations. We don't want to look at it. We want to march in that order. The way they told you to go, that is it. But people are waking up. People are changing things. People are taking off the blindfolds. People are becoming more conscious of their situation, their environment, their future. But what is happening in that concentration camp? Nothing is happening. Everybody is fighting of how to get his own share. Now, if everybody keeps fighting how to get his or her own share, what about those who don't have the opportunity to get their own share? So that is where personal vanity is destroying us. And we need to change our mentality from that personal vanity. We have to think of everyone and not just myself. Now, let me jump again. He said he lacks the power to organize. He lacks the power of organization, and it is conspicuously deficient in the management and control alike of men or business. He loves the display of power, but fails to realize its responsibility. That is a black man for you. A black man loves power, position, but fails to understand the responsibility associated with that power or position. When you are in a position, you are supposed to be a lamb for the people. You are supposed to be a sacrificial lamb for the people and not for yourself. But we use power, we destroy ourselves, we destroy everything. As soon as you are in a position, you are now the Lord. Everything must bow to you. That is a black man, and that is why people are fighting. Some set of people wants to remain the president of Nigeria till the world ends. Now, the responsibility that is associated with such position, can they meet up? No. All they know is create, loot, and share. They create it, they loot, they share. Look, I want to tell the Ogoni people, those from the Niger Delta, and many oppressed Nigerians, if you think, let me tell you, if you think that you are living in a place that is secure, just know you are lying to yourself. Nigeria as it is, and as it will continue to be, except everybody come together and we agree on how we will live in that Nigeria, or how we will go our separate ways, nothing will work in that country. Nothing is going to work in that country. That is just the truth. Let me tell you something. If you are living in a country called Nigeria, you see, when you wake up in the morning, your mind is thinking, oh, is there light? Is there light? Perhaps you went to work. By the time you go, all your mind, will there be light at home? Let me tell you, if you cannot wake up in the morning with electricity, go to work and come back and meet electricity, and continually, then know that you are not living. I'm telling you the truth. If you think generator is the way out, you are lying to yourself. When everybody in the neighborhood has generator, what do you know the level of noise pollution in that place? Do you know the effect? You don't know. But you are comfortable in it. And you think it is a way of life. No. Your mind is more nearer to an animal world, according to Lord Lugard. And that is why you need to change. You need to open your eyes and see that you are not living. You don't have electricity. I talked some time last, and somebody just wrote me, one of my friends, oh, but in my area I have electricity, and I just laughed. Say, you have electricity. This is someone that we've met in the foreign land, that this person has lived where there is constant electricity day in, day out. And I say, oh, but in my area, okay, you are concerned about your area. What about the other areas? Do they have electricity? So when we are talking about electricity, we are not talking about one section of the town having electricity and while others are suffering. No. There are people, look, the countries that have electricity, Nigeria is over 80-something% richer than them. But what is happening on your own? You don't want to think, you don't want to know. You have to emancipate yourself from that mental slavery, because if you don't do it, you will continue in that. They take everything that belongs to you. They follow rules and regulations. They enter train. They pick taxi. They don't make any. there is no siren. They follow things accordingly. If they enter train, they sit down. If they enter buses, they sit down. And they quietly go and come back to their destination. But do you know something? When they come back home, they remove that face. You see, it is like coat of many colors. They remove that part of themselves, that kind of obedience they demonstrated outside. They throw it away. And when they come into the animal kingdom, they now behave. They wear the cloth of arrogance. They wear the cloth of bullying, and they now operate like tyrants. But when they are in a foreign land, they don't do that. They see how the place is beautiful. All they do is they take from you and they go and heap it there because of personal vanity. And they don't think of, oh, I've been to a nice place. This place is okay. What can we do so that our place will also look like this? If your leaders are taught that way, you won't be in what you are today. So it is a responsibility on every Nigerian, on all the oppressed in Nigeria, to remove that mental slavery and begin to act like the wise people and begin to demand for your rights. Because if you continue in that mental slavery, that's, yeah, this is Nigeria, this is how we do, this is our way, that your generation will pass and other generations will come and it will continue that way. But it's not everybody that is comfortable in that. So you have to understand that in the concentration camp where you are living, you are not like a human being. You've been programmed like a robot. So you need to emancipate yourself. You need to be free. You deserve freedom. You deserve freedom. And how will freedom come? It must start with you. You must your mind, you must change your mind. Let me tell you something. If you want to renew your mind, first, all they have programmed into you when you were from childhood up to whatever age you are, keep that aside. Make your own fresh research about life, about situations. Now you compare what you've been told into the new discoveries you have. By the time you are able to blend these two, you will get the truth and you will create your own self-value. You will create your own opinion about life. But when you keep flowing with all you were told and you don't want to make any new discovery, because many of the things you were told were lies. I'm telling you the truth, were lies. So when you understand new things, compare with the old, and you get something fresh that you can live on, that will move you forward. But when you don't do that and you continue the way you are Nigeria, and you finally will go and perish in the water. That is the truth. If you like, you will hate the truth. Look, there are some people that hate the truth. They don't want to see it. That is not a problem. Because you will die with your lies, since you don't want to know the truth. So, Ogoni people, let me tell us, Ken Saro-Wiwa, he brought a message. He brought a song, a liberation song to us. A message of liberation to us. But today, how is it like? Let me take you through the book of Matthew. I think Matthew chapter 13. Jesus spoke to the people in parable. He talked about the parable of a sower. He said the sower went out to sow. And as he was scattering the seed, some fell on the path, some fell on the rocky place, some fell among thorns, some fell on the fertile soil. Now, the one that fell on the path did not do anything. But let me explain it. So the one that fell on the path is like you receive a message and you don't understand that message. He said the devil will come and take it away from you. And what you received was very important, was key to your liberation. But because you don't understand it, the devil will come and take it from you. Then he says some fell among a rocky place. And immediately they sprang up. They received the message and everything was, and they started to germinate. But when the sun came, it scorched the leaves and the plant died off. Why did the plant die off? Because there was no root. Now the third people, he said he fell among thorns. So the thorns grew and choked the seeds. So they couldn't do anything. And he ascribed those people as those who received the message, but because of worries of life, because of vanity, because of what they want to get, what they want to receive, everything they want to get, because of greediness, selfishness, you want to acquire wealth and all those things for yourself. Because of that, those are the things that choked the seed. So because of that, the seeds were choked and they couldn't germinate, they couldn't bear for fruit. Then the fourth one, this one fell on the fertile soil and it germinated, grew, bear fruit of 100-fold, 60-fold, and 30-fold. Now, I want to ask you a simple question. Ken Saro-Wiwa was like the sower. He came with a message, with a seed, and he was sowing. Now you look at yourself. Who are you among these four classes of people? Who are you? You are the one that you have to make this analysis. You have to analyze yourself. Who are you among these four classes of people? It is a question you have to take home, because that will help you understand where you are. You see, in this part of the world, in Africa, we joke a lot with everything. We joke with your destiny. What is going to liberate you? We joke with it. So, Ogoni people, the message that Ken Saro-Wiwa brought, how far have we gone with it? The seed that he was sowing, how far has it germinated? A lot of things has choked us. And our mentality has become choked with nonsense, become choked with personal vanity, and we've abandoned the national benefits that would have come to the people. We've abandoned it. So I'm talking to you, Ogoni people. Emancipate yourself from that mental slavery, because it is not going to help us. We need to change. We need to change. There is need for us to change. That's the only way we can get what we are looking for. If we don't change, nothing is going to change. No one will come from anywhere. It will start with us. It must start with us. It must start with our mind. How do we look at this situation? So emancipate yourself from mental slavery, because it is not going to help us. You see, if you look at Nigeria, history is removed from school. From the school curriculum, history is removed. Why? They don't want you to understand the past. They don't want you to know the past. Because when you understand the past, you will know how your present situation, and then you know how to change it for a better tomorrow. They said a child that doesn't know what killed his father, that thing will also kill him. A nation that removes history from their school is dead. It's like someone telling you they don't want you to know your date of birth. They don't want you to even know your history. Everything about you, your grandparents, your life, your father, your mother, they don't want you to know anything. You should just start from where you are and continue that way. No, don't just look at the back. Don't just understand anything that happened before. So history is removed from your school curriculum because they don't want you to know. Even when you study history, in those days when you study history in school, there are key things they refuse to tell you. They refuse to put in the school curriculum. They will never tell you. Because if they tell you, you will be wise. You will wake up. So it is your opportunity now to make research yourself so that you can wake up and change your mind. Because what you are in is not favorable. What you are in, it will take you alone to deliver yourself. Because if you don't change your mentality, you can't deliver yourself. You can't deliver yourself. So, Ogoni people, I want to tell us something. You see, some people say I talk about politics. I say yes, I have to talk about it. Let me tell us. Do we know why Mossad in 1993? Do you know why Ogoni people boycotted the 1993 election? Do you know why? It was a way to showcase, to prove to the system we are in that we are not going to abide by this your constitution, this constitution that has deprived of us of our right. We will not abide by it. We don't want it. We want a change, and to let the world know that we are not satisfied with what we are in, that we need a complete change. We don't want to be part of that system. That system has oppressed us and we don't want to be part of it. So we are not going to participate in any election. That's why most of us boycotted that election in 1993. Ogoni people did not vote. That presidential election, Ogoni people did not vote. To let the people know that we are not happy. Because under which constitution was that election to take place? That election took place under the so-called constitution that is depriving us of our right. So as soon as you go to vote, it means you like the constitution. So Ogoni people say, no, we don't like it. We don't want this. That constitution is depriving us of our rights, so we are not going to vote. It was a good step. We scored a beautiful goal. But after that, we opened our defense. And they start to hit it. Bam. After the death of Ken Saro-Wiwa, we open our defense. And they start to score us. Score us. And today, we are back into the same political election and all this kind of nonsense, and we are killing ourselves because it was a way to prove to Nigeria and the world that we are not okay with this, and we succeeded. So why can't we continue? Why can't we continue? Because you won't study it in school, because the history is taken away, and if the history were to be there, they won't put it in because it is affecting them. It is affecting them because it is going to liberate your mind, so they won't put. So I have to tell you, ask people that were there, ask people that we boycotted that 1993 election. So it was a good step that we took, and the world saw that, wow, Ogoni people, yeah, you are on course, you are right, and that's why they hurriedly did everything they did to kill Ken Saro-Wiwa and the rest. So Ogoni people, we have the right to demand for what we want, but you have to change your mentality, because with this current mentality, as if I don't want to use, no, let me not use that word, but it is wrong. It is very, very wrong if we don't delete that mentality, if we don't emancipate ourselves from that mental slavery and look on the table, because something is there on the table for us. If we want to continue with this system we are in, then we don't have anything good to showcase the world, and for our next generation to come and meet, we don't have anything. So we really have to organize ourselves. We know what to do. But that mental slavery is like dragging us. No. Let's take this bold step once more and for the final time and get what we want. It beats my imagination how some people, look, today you are celebrating Mandela, you celebrate Martin Luther King, you celebrate a lot, Mahatma Gandhi, even far away from India, you celebrate him, you express how they liberated their people. Kensara Nkrumah, you celebrate him. But it beats my imagination how someone is repeating the words of Kensara Nkrumah to you. Someone is telling you, bringing that same message of Kensara Nkrumah to you, which you know, but you see the person has a problem. That is what I don't understand. So, celebrating these people from your heart, because these men brought life to their people. If you are waiting for an angel to come down from heaven, you won't see it. You are the one that need to stand up. You need to emancipate yourself from that mental slavery and stand up. When Kensara Nkrumah came up, everywhere. You see, it came in the time where there was fear in Nigeria. It came in the time where this knowledge was not there. It was rare. But look at how far he went. Now look at at least the knowledge is there now. It is not only Ogoni people that is talking about freedom or liberation. Many other people are not talking about it. As at that time, it was Ken alone. So what has happened to us, Ogoni people? What has happened to us? Emancipate yourself from that mental slavery so that we can move forward. That is the only way we can move forward, my people. That is the only way we can move forward. Last time I talked about, is Ogoni Kingdom possible? Yes, and I explained from the right we have even within the from the UN Declaration on the right of the indigenous people, the right we have from the UN, how we have been backed up by that declaration. So right now I'm telling you, you need to remove it. That thing that is making you think as if it's not possible, that thing that is making you think as if, oh, we can't go ahead, just delete it. Emancipate yourself from that mental slavery, please, so that you can move on. We can all move on. When we emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, then like minds, we can all come together. And when we hit it, we get what we want. It is not a race of one man. It is a collective race. And we need to understand that. It is a collective race. So, Ogoni people, you have what it takes to get what you want. Don't mind any other thing surrounding you. Don't look at your neighbor, how he's behaving. Look inward you, and you will see what is there for you. Be ready for freedom. Your destiny is in your hand. Bob Marley was a prophet. Many years ago, he sang this song. When you look at, I want to tell you, look at, is there any Ogoni man that has oil block? Look at Niger Delta. How many people from Niger Delta has oil block? But all you will see is allergy this, allergy that, allergy this, allergy that. Everything that belongs to you is taken from you. And you are now walking, you that is supposed to be a prince, you are now walking on the ground. And then servants or slaves are now riding on horses. Go to Abuja and see the kind of expensive cars they are driving. Look at the kind of houses they have. But right in Ogoni land, where the oil is being pumped from, there are thatch houses. There are homeless people. And don't you think something is wrong? You think it is funny. You think it is okay. It's all right. It's never all right, my people. It's never all right. It's never all right. You are not supposed to live in that kind of situation. You are supposed to live like people that owns oil, uranium. You're supposed to live like them. You are supposed to live. In fact, the least environment you should desire is Dubai. That is the least environment you should desire. It's Dubai. Because you have what it takes. I am talking to you, and if you think that what you are living in is okay, I'm sorry, it's not okay, my people. It's not okay. It's not okay. We are all victims of this system. We are all victims. So you have to see how you can liberate your mind. A liberated mind has a way to liberate himself. Once your mind is liberated, you won't be taking nonsense. You won't just be doing yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. No. So liberate your mind. You know the truth. It is before you. So liberate your mind. That's it. They are like the ones that were sown on the rocky ground. They accepted it. And little persecution came. Little, listen, power. They are all gone. But remember that Ken Saro-Wiwa said, another person will come. So he was preparing people that will take over from him. And this is the generation. So ask yourself, go to your corner in your house and ask yourself, what role will you play in this final phase, in the liberation of Ogoni people? What role will you play? I'm begging you, be the seed that was sown on the good soil so that you can germinate